Deutsche Welle, or DW, is Germany's international broadcaster. They provide journalistic content in 32 languages, which gives an opportunity to unbiased information and access to knowledge. In 2021, DW reached a new high of 289 million user contacts a week, an increase of 40 million from last year. Online offerings overtake TV formats for the first time. DW's online services account for 122 million weekly user contacts. The strongest online platforms are Facebook and YouTube. TV usage reached 170 million contacts per week, and radio usage remained stable at 50 million. The most popular TV programs are DW News and The Day. Moreover, they have an app for German learners in online and offline format. DW might be recognized by the names of journalists as Brand Goff, Nicole Fröhlich, Janelle Damalian, Gerhard Elfers, Sarah Kelly, and Jenny Perez. Brand Goff is one of the most recognizable on-air personalities. He is from North Carolina, and after working as producer for CNN in Berlin, he came to DW. Goff hosted DW's global current affairs talk show called Agenda with Brand Goff, and now he is a chief news DW anchor of Berlin, where he broadcasts the network's main news program for North America weekdays, special coverage of breaking news, and major events. Nicole Fröhlich is a trilingual journalist and presenter. She joined to DW at 24, which means she was the youngest senior news producer. She anchors flagship program DW News and the travel show Check-In. Her work focuses on sexism, racism, inequality, and the resulting discrimination. Gerhard Elfers is an anchor of DW News. He joined DW as a London correspondent in 2008. Since 2015, he became an anchor and started to host in DW News. Janelle Demalian works for 7 years in DW, and now she is a presenter, editor, and reporter. She produced reports of business news, which provide us with live coverage and business analysis in studio reviews. Her online researching and writing might be found on dw.com/business. Sarah Kelly joined DW in 2010, and she became a lead anchor in DW News. Her journalism tackles tough and controversial issues. Sarah divides her time between Berlin and New York and helps to build connection between Europe and the US. Jenny Perez is one of DW's most popular Spanish-language journalists and the lead anchor on DW Noticias. With focus on politics and economics, she developed a strong reputation for holding people in power to account and deliver interviews. With her work in Berlin and on the ground in Latin America, she holds it to be both a privilege and a duty to counteract censorship and strengthen dialogue.
Due to works of journalists and other employees who put in a lot of efforts, their social networks are very advanced including Facebook and YouTube. And just now, people mostly watch their YouTube channel, where we can see a huge number of views. In the DW news in the recent times about the war in Ukraine has get most public attention. The videos on YouTube got at least 200,000 views and at most 1.7 million in past 7 days. In other words, at present time, people most interested in situations in Ukraine. For example, news about Joe Biden's concern about nuclear threat gathered 627,000 views in 40 hours. European leaders meet in face of Ukraine war, 225,000 views in one day. News sanction on Russian, 605,000 views in 2 days. And Ukraine advances 1 million views in 3 days. In terms of DW documentaries, the programs which are broadcasted both on TV and YouTube, the most watched programs in last 7 days, Uzbekistan, the Silk Road by train, gathered 200,000 views. Wind and climate change, about 600,000 views. In past months, documentary program Afghanistan under the Taliban, almost 350,000 views. The Spanish flu, 1.2 million views. In last 6 months, America's black upper class reached successful and empowerment, 8.2 million views. The videos and programs cover the audience from the North and Latin America, Asia, Europe, MENA, Eastern Europe, and Central Asia, and also Sub-Saharan Africa. In the first 3 countries, people prefer to use TV as a source of news, whereas in MENA, Eastern Europe, and Central Asia, people use online services. And just in Africa, people use radio most. In terms of age, it is mostly 25 to 34-aged people. It is worth to mention that DW is followed mostly by men than women, which in turn is very different from the audience that is located in Eurasia. Moreover, in social network, you can also notice that the comments are mostly written by men. As it mentioned above, the advanced ones is YouTube and Facebook. The number of total audience in YouTube, including all channels of DW, is more than 10 million. The channels which have a huge number of subscribers are DW Documentary, DW News, more than 4 million followers, and DW Russia, 1.56 million. As it's seen in statistics, the local DW has fewer subscribers than DW Russia. As for Facebook, DW News lead the first position with 3.1 million subscribers, whereas DW Russia and DW Local have 292,000 and 451,000 followers, respectively.
Since the first airing, DW always have been trying to adjust its broadcasting. Significant change started from launching a daily television program in 1994. Nowadays it has 4 channels: English, German, Arabic, and Spanish. These channels rely on satellite network on more than 5,000 partner stations. Despite this, DW becomes the first German public service broadcaster to launch news websites in 1994. The increasing use of the internet changed the platform's focus from radio programs via shortwave to multimedia formats. In digital era, mobile distribution has appeared. So, after a while, the outlet started to offer 2 apps, where the first, named DW app, is a version of the website based on user preferences, and the second one aims to learners of German language. In DW app, it is possible to watch live streaming TV. What is more interesting is that we may witness an upcoming update of the website's format into new one, which can be more convenient. Turning to DW app for learners, which is free, I could say that it has interactions in forms of audio and video files. To target people from different regions, DW used different ways. As an example, in Asia, DW expands its TV and digital programs, specifically social media networks. In Russia, only digital forms such as social media and apps are used. However, the process of convergence didn't go without any issues. In DW, it often comes from digitized formats such as two previously mentioned apps and the outlet's website itself. From DW app perspective, from Play Store ratings and review, it was acknowledged that there are problems in scrolling, uploading articles, and exiting the app. Even after reinstallment of the app, this situation doesn't change. German learning application is not convenient in navigational organization due to hamburger style of menu. Folders loading is not as fast as users were expected, and saving the progress with lagging videos remain problematic as well. Despite several complaints in Play and Apple stores, the app was not updated since 2019.
DW is a public broadcaster financed by federal tax resources. It has 4-year strategy, consumer business model, where a company sells its services directly to consumers, and broker model of business.